friends. So this tech blog is on a trick I learned while I was up at the Wesleyan Winter Fire Arts gathering in Middletown, Connecticut last weekend. A fine young gentleman there showed me a trick that he dubbed the X-Man, which I thought was pretty damned awesome, not just because of the awesome name, but also because the transition into it is really crazy. It's another Fantastic Four-based move. And before those of you out there who are thinking it, X-Man actually is a superhero and not a superhero team in the singular. It actually is the name of a character that replaced Cable real briefly during the Age of Apocalypse crossover back in the late 90s. Boom. None of y'all will ever out comic book nerd me. Anyhow, so in order to get there, first to demonstrate the move, it looks like a lot's going on there, right? And that's because it is. Really, when it comes down to it, we're talking about this bit right here being the X-Man. The other bit of it is how to get into the X-Man. Now, the X-Man itself is really just sending the poi back and forth across your shoulders and across your waist in such a way that they are always moving away from you and coming towards you at the same time. So that bounce that we do in a Superman with our pinky end is always happening with both hands instead of just the one, right? And of course, it also changes the phasing because we're used to it being kind of a chase-based move where even if we're doing a Fantastic Four like this, we're used to a boom, 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 boom kind of timing. Whereas the X-Man move is less of a boom, boom and more of a boom, 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 so that we're taking the bounce off both sides at the same time, right? So really, if you just wanted to get into this without the transition, the way to do it would be to kind of take your thumb end and have it over at your non-dominant side, and as you're getting it moving, you pull your non-dominant end, or your pinky end towards you as well, and then you do your best to kind of push away with it. I find I have the best luck with this when I'm pushing at my shoulders. You want to keep that thumb end above the pinky end, of course, because otherwise, however will they stay out of each other's way when you're going down towards your waist. But yeah, I have to do a little bit of pushing at my shoulders, and then usually there's enough momentum to get me out of the waist place, so to speak, you know? So then there's the transition to actually get into this, which the transition is actually about as cool as the X-Men itself, and it's more of a combo really than an individual trick, but we'll deal with it anyhow. The way I was able to break this down for myself after reviewing the video was to think of each end individually. So starting off with the thumb end, what I noticed was going on, of course, we're used to in the Superman and the Fantastic Four having this moment where as we're essentially doing a tic-tac, a 2-beat across ourselves, we then have this little moment where we bounce off the inside of our thigh. And normally in the Fantastic Four, then, this becomes a moment where we're bringing the poi up and around into a horizontal kind of place, right? It's not so cut and dry here. It's more like we're kind of switching around into I guess a reverse wall playing kind of place. One of the beauties of getting the poi trapped in that space between your legs is you can really pull it out in any direction that you see fit. Even the same direction as we saw before in the 3-beat Fantastic Four. So when you do that wrap, you're going in and you're pulling back out of it in a reverse direction. You're going to do a beat behind you, a beat in front of you, and as the poi is coming up to the native end of you, you're going to pull it towards you and bounce it off your shoulder, and that starts the move, right? The thumb end is the easy part. The pinky end is a little bit harder. So for the pinky end, we're used to having this nice back and forth that keeps the Superman going. And then when we bounce it across our waist on our native side, which would be normally the beginning of the Fantastic Four, we're going to bring it around in such a way that it'll look like it's going forwards, or I guess in my view this would be kind of clockwise in front of you in wall plane. And as that does that going around, you're going to bounce it off of your ankle in the back, and as you pull off of your ankle, you're going to bounce it off of your back shoulder, and that gets it over to your non-native shoulder, which then begins the X-Man, right? So again, because it's complex, this is the one that bounces off the hips, and after this bounce, we roll it around, bounce it off the ankle, bounce it off the shoulder, and there you are. You're in the move, right? Okay, so that means that as we're doing this little switch right here, where we're going to the back side, we are bouncing the pinky end off of our ankle, but not the thumb end. The thumb end gets to do a beat completely unencumbered before it comes in front of you and gets set for the X-Man, right? So, to put that all together, so to speak, we have the bounce, bounce, bounce off the ankle, bounce off the shoulder, and come together in the X-Man, right? It looks like a lot, but this actually was really, really easy for me to pick up once I broke it up into its component pieces. Again, from here, we make like we're going to initiate the Fantastic Four, send them both around, and boom. The real trick here is to remember that normally when we go into the Fantastic Four, we're reaching across to our non-native side. As we're entering the X-Men in this combination right here, we are actually reaching back behind ourselves in order to initiate it. The first few times you do this, you may find that the tethers go limp at one place or another. The hard part for me actually was the thumb end and getting it to come around in a place where it could rest and then bounce off my shoulders, but it comes easily enough if you're looking for it. So anyway, thank you so much for the inspiration on this, and I will be back with some more tech for you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Peace. Hi, thanks so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Doing so will help other people find my content, and it lets me know that I'm creating videos that are worth seeing. Also, check out my website at drexfactor.com. There, you can purchase sets of poi like the ones I use in my videos, and get access to a great range of written inspirational content, plus which you can subscribe to my videos there in the form of a podcast. Finally, if you go to flowtoys.com, you can enter in my special promo code and get a small discount on your order. Doing these things helps support me in my flow journey, and it means that I can make more videos for you guys. So, thank you in advance for your support.